How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you one of the new, I guess you would call side projects that I'll be working on continuing over the course of time and on the channel. No, it's not my car. It's actually my brother's car. He picked up a new used car, and a lot of you like to watch videos on cars that have a lot of problems. So this car, you could say it fits in that category. But before I get into that, if you could do me a huge favor, go and hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Definitely would appreciate it. Also, you can follow our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok's links in the description below. Let's get started. So in the past, I made a lot of videos about my previous ownership experience and other repairs that I've done on my Lexus IS250. Now, if you're wondering if I bought it on a Lexus, no, I did not. My brother did not. He actually went way down the rabbit hole and bought one of the most problematic brands out there. I know that's controversial to say, but if you look at ownership on average, yeah, it's a lot of problems, but they're very fun cars to drive. I still like them. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you. Right here is his 2007 BMW 328i. This is the E90 model. If you didn't know, I'm actually a big fan of the 335is with the N54 engine. This is not it. So he purchased this a month or two ago, but I have not had a chance to really do any video work on it. He's been busy working, and today he's kind of just at home chilling. So I decided to make a quick intro video for you guys to kind of see the project and show you some of the problems the car has and some of the plus and minuses of this car, and what I plan on helping him fix, and how I'm planning to help him fix the car. So let me go ahead and do a full walk around on the car so you kind of get a good view of the car's condition. So this is a 2007 328i. Not the worst of BMWs to buy, but again, you know, BMWs are BMWs. I still like them as, you know, fun driving cars. They just, maintenance wise, they're not the greatest. So let me tell you the backstory on this car. So this was actually owned by my friend Ben's cousin. He's not a car guy. He wanted something kind of cool and not expensive to buy for a daily, and he purchased this and didn't realize the problems that it came with. Now, he's had a lot of stuff repaired over the past few years. He's owned the car for about, I think, 3 years. He's put a lot of money into it, and he came to a point where he just got fed up and wanted to sell it. So Ben graciously offered it to us, or offered up to all the friends for sale, and my brother has always been a big Beamer guy, so he decided to buy it. Now, normally I wouldn't tell anybody to just go jump in at who's not mechanically inclined. My brother is not a mechanically inclined person to buy this car, but there are a few nice caveats to this car. One, no accident history, or official accident history. Two, it's got really low miles. This thing, he purchased it with a little under 70,000 miles. So, and it's lived its whole life in Southern California, so rust and all that, not a problem. And there's, you know, cosmetic issues, but we'll get into that in just a second. But my video hit today is to kind of show you the plus and minuses of this whole car as a whole, or go over this car and show you the plus and minuses of this car. Overall, you know, it's not a bad car for a daily driver. Now, he purchased it for a pretty good deal. He purchased it for lower than market rate, and the saving grace with this car is that the fact that it's 70,000 miles on a 2007. That's considered very low. Now, the condition of it doesn't reflect as such, but mechanically it's all there. So let me go and get into the details for you. Now, the paint's obviously not the greatest. There is scratches everywhere, and the chrome grille, the chrome's delaminating, all that good fun stuff. And the front bumper, as you can see, I don't know what they hit and scraped, but looks pretty gnarly. But my brother doesn't care. He's perfectly fine with it. He said this is still a good running car. It's better than his last car. So headlights are faded. Might try to do a DIY tutorial on how to restore that maybe. I don't know if I can save that, but I'll try. And they got some nice little eBay carbon fiber eyelids. Wheels have scratches everywhere. There's dings, dents, scratches all over the body. The little eBay carbon fiber mirror caps, the clear coat, as I guess they would consider that, pretty much shot. Again, scratches, ding, dents everywhere. Scratches on the trunk, the rear bumper. Scrape something on the rear right there. Again, all four wheels have scratches on it. I don't know who the original owner is. I think Ben's cousin was probably like the third or fourth owner. I haven't really dug into the details. The roof's clear as peeling. But yeah, I mean, it is a outdoor parked vehicle that is used every day by whoever owns it. So the condition of the car shows as such, but overall not bad. Let me go ahead and show you the engine bay and then the interior. So let's take a look in the engine bay real quick. Overall, it looks like your typical BMW, nothing broken or out of place, but the things that catch my eye right off the bat, one is this is leaking and it's pretty wet, so we got to look into that in a future video, see what the issues are. Engine has some crud buildup down there, but it looks like it's not wet, it's not new, it's just dusty and dirty, so we got to take a closer look. Down in there, I don't know if you can see it, it looks pretty dry, so that's a good sign, it's not a bad thing. But overall, this car's had a lot of maintenance done on it. So Ben's cousin originally spent about $4,000 before he sold the car to us. He spent $4,000 at a mechanic shop, just doing all sorts of work. They replaced the coolant reservoir tank. I think they changed the radiator, did a whole bunch of stuff. And for whatever reason, his cousin just kind of got fed up dealing with maintenance, which is very typical for people that want a BMW but don't understand what it takes to own one. I personally have only owned one in my life, and that was a F30 model 328. It was my ex-wife's car, wife at the time's car, and thankfully that one wasn't my problem by the time it got to that age or mileage. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look into the interior. Starting off with the back of the interior, this car is actually in really good shape for the interior. Again, this is a 70,000 mile car, and it shows as such. Has a small leather scratch here on the back seat. Not a big deal, but overall the carpet quality and the leather quality is pretty up there. Really impressed with how it is. Door panels, everything in the back. Looks like anybody barely ever sat back here. Obviously, the driver's seat and driver area compartment area is the more used, worn area. You can see in the door panel, there's a couple elbow rub marks, nail scratches, finger scratches from grabbing the door handle. And then the dash, everything's super clean. That was a huge reason why we looked into buying the car, was because of the condition of the interior and everything else. The exterior is a cosmetic thing. Maybe my brother will vinyl wrap it or do something else to it, but for now, not bad. Now the car does have a few issues right off the bat. The radio does not work. I don't know what that is. That's going to be a diagnosed issue, or I'm just going to take a shot in the dark in the future and see what the issue may be, but I have a remedy for that already. I don't know if it's the radio itself that's just not working or what the issue may be, but again, we'll look into that in a future episode. The door handle on this side, leather's kind of lifting off. It is what it is. He doesn't care. It's okay. Not a huge deal. Again, this is a 15-plus-year-old BMW. The door locks do not work. You have to manually open or click each corner. That's another issue that I'd have to look into a future episode. But these are some of the problems I want to show you right off the bat, so you kind of know what to expect in an upcoming video. Now, if you have a 328i, I'm sorry, and I'm happy for you at the same time. Sorry that you got to deal, or a Beamer, that you have to deal with the problems that these cars have, but when they run properly, they are a very, very enjoyable driving experience. So one of my huge weird problems with this car that I don't know what they were thinking for the US models in particular was on the instrument cluster. Can you tell me what's missing here? You have a speedometer, you have a tach, you have a fuel gauge, they give you an MPG gauge, but what is one thing that's pretty important, especially for my brother and living in a desert climate here in Las Vegas? There's no temp gauge. So one of my big recommendations to him was to get a a gauge that hooks up to the OBD plug, so you can read and see what the temperature is at all times, because the worst thing you want to do is overheat and not know it. So, you know, usually I recommend people the little tiny scan gauge or whatever brands, and you just put it right here on the dash, right? You just have it there, or you put it here, wherever, or somewhere where you can see it while you're driving. He went all out and got this giant gauge setup, scan gauge setup, which is cool. Still cool. I mean, so full ricer points for him. But yeah, he got this all. He got this on, and there's other things that he's been doing to the car. Car also came with these cool non-OEM M3 mats on a 328, so he's full. He's almost that full 10 out of 10 BMW owner. But anyways, let me go ahead and get the keys for this, and I will take it on test drive and show you how the car drives. Now I have the car started. You can see here it's got coolant temp, battery volt, and engine RPM. Not that that's really important, but that's the most important thing. That's why I told him to get this. Now on the dash, there's not really there's a couple caution lights, lights. So far, nothing that from what I saw interferes with the car's function or safety, so we're okay there. A couple small bulbs are out from what I remember, and we have yet to replace those. To show you the stereo, none of this works, so you're gonna have to address this in a future episode. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Let me get on the road and I'll start recording.
A few inches later.
So the car drives very smooth, obviously. It is a BMW. Small little things, not my brother's fault or anything. It's car's got veers to the right a little bit, so you kind of have to always just hold the steering wheel and just put a little pressure on it just to keep it going straight. Overall, very smooth drive. A couple things that I noticed, because I haven't driven this car yet, is the rear view mirror is very sensitive. You barely tap it and it's all out of whack, so I gotta take a look at that and see if I can tighten it or what needs to be done to make it so when you hit a bump it just doesn't flop everywhere. But overall, pretty good car. Steering wheel is obviously heavier than Toyota's. Not sure, I don't remember if a BMW steering wheel is supposed to feel this heavy though, but it's not a bad thing. It's just a different feel. It just takes me about a couple minutes used to automatically adjust to the steering input. But overall, good car. The OEM suspension, I think, still feels okay. It's not the most great on bumps and whatnot, but decent enough. So passing through here to the underneath the convention center, just a little bit of traffic. The car itself runs pretty well. I'll try to get into an area where it's nice and open so I can floor it a little bit and kind of give you some feedback on how the car feels. In terms of basic speed, it's a 328i. I'm not expecting mind-blowing performance out of it, but gets the job done. That's probably the hardest it's ever been driven since my brother bought it. He tends to drive very conservatively, so sorry I'm burning up your gas, but yeah, overall the car drives really smooth. Let me go ahead and get back home and I'll kind of give you my thoughts. Back at my house in the garage to give you my full overview of the car. Overall, was this a good buy, a bad buy? Let's go over the details. So, my brother bought the car from Ben in Southern California for $4,000. This was a couple months ago. It's been a good car ever since. He hasn't had any problems. Now, with saying that, before you get on me, start going off in the comments, just let me remind you that this car only has 70,000 miles. That was the big factor into buying this. And then a lot of the things that were broken due to age and a lot of the issues were done. So now that I drove the car and kind of jogged my memory, the list of stuff that was replaced was all the hoses, the reservoir, coolant reservoir. It has all brand new Michelin tires. Miscellaneous little things here and there. There was an oil leak that was found out to be the crush washer for the plug for the oil pan. Whoever did the oil change prior did not do that. So little tiny things that were just really not carefully done when maintenance was done on the car. Overall, the car is a solid car. Now, if you think $4,000 is a lot for the car, this is 2024, and I know before you get in the comments again that it's a fire sale, used cars prices are tanking. Yes, they are, but pre 2020, this car was probably a equivalent with higher mileage is probably like a $2,000 to $3,000 car. This was bought for $4,000, not bad. The going rate for these right now, locally here in Vegas, they're about the same price at $4,000, but with over 200,000 miles. So this one's got 70,000 miles. My brother does maybe 6,000 miles a year, if that. So it should last him a long time. So for him, he's not looking to buy and sell, but if he ever had to get rid of it, he wouldn't be out much money, if any, or because the mileage is so low, he could probably find somebody to buy it for what he wants for it or what he's into the car. So that's not a bad investment in my eyes. Now again, it's not the prettiest car, but there's little things we're gonna do to make it a little nicer. Obviously I can't fix that, but we're gonna try to do things to improve the car and make it more fun for him to drive, or just make it look a little cooler. Now, would I buy this car myself? The 328i's, I don't remember all the technical details off the top of my head, but the 328i's compared to the 335i's on the E90s, from my understanding, these are a little bit easier to work on, and maintenance wise, obviously it's an NA car, not a turbo car, so maintenance isn't as bad. But for $4,000 for what he got, it's pretty good. His old car is a '01 Oldsmobile, or Mercury Grand Marquis. It's right over there. That's for sale. Yeah, this is a huge upgrade for him. So he's really happy with the car. He's been happy since. Just got to fix all the little things that bother him. But yeah, that's pretty much an overview of my brother's 2007 BMW 328. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, until next time, you guys take care. See you on the next episode. Thanks so much for watching.